Good morning, Divyashi. Divyashi, send the link in the group and tell everyone to join as fast as possible, beta. Divya, tell everyone to join as fast as possible, beta. Divya? Okay. Good morning, Sharmila. Good morning, beta. See everyone to join as fast as possible. As fast as possible. Again, we have very less time today for biology. Okay. Sharmila, send the link in the group, beta, and tell everyone to join. First, you see, today we are going to see what is a good morning, Ashish. Good morning, Sharmila. Good morning, Ashwin. Better send the link in the group and tell them to join us fast. And Shrutika, good morning. Vishal, good morning. Kanishka, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Just join as fast as possible, beta. Join as fast as possible. Naresh, good morning. Good morning, beta. Kanishka, good morning, beta. I have to check 10 minutes. I think 30 minutes only. Rahul, just join as fast as possible. Now, beta, last class we have discussed about, so this is a new PDF. So, beta, what we are going to see today, we are going to see the organelles. Means right now, whatever we have studied, beta, we have discussed about different shapes of cells. So, whatever videos, previous videos are there, if you will see, along with that PDF, I have also sent you the what you called PDF I have sent you in the group. If it is not there still, just tell me one thing. One more time I am going to send those PDFs. So all necessary details I have already given you, beta. One time we are going to see. Now one more time we are going to learn those things. Now beta, let's start the class without wasting the time. So till now we have talked about different type of functions of cells. Now beta, what we are going to do? What we are going to do today? Today we are going to understand about cell wall. Now, most important thing about cell wall is not present in animal cells. Cell wall is only present in plant cell. And cell wall is just like fiber. It is made with what? Carbohydrate. It's a type of carbohydrate. We can say it's a type of carbohydrate, but many things are there. Fibers will be there, which will be making the cell wall, beta. A simple thing will be there. We are going to understand. Okay, Krisha, Darshini, Ekta, Rahul, Kanishka, Naresh, Vishal, Shrutika, Ashish, Sharmila, everyone, good morning, beta. Everyone, good morning. Now, beta, just send the link in the group and say, Auntie is waiting for biology class. After this biology is there, you say them. Now, beta, cellulose microfibril. So, you have to see that cellulose. This is a type of special type of carbohydrate. This is exactly microfibrils it is called. And now beta, you see here how the cross linkings are there. Pectins is again a type of fiber, beta. It is exactly present in fruit extracts also. And now beta, this is exactly what you called as a cell wall. This is the structure of a cell wall. So you don't have to study that, means this much complex part you don't have to study. But beta, I want you to have some imagination. Okay, the cell wall looks like this. So the plant cell wall looks like this. This is middle lamella, this is plasma membrane, this is the outer coating, beta. So after this one, primary cell wall, this is exactly the primary cell wall, and this is the middle lamella, beta, and after that this is the plasma membrane. So inner coating will coming as plasma membrane, the outer coating will be cell wall, beta. The outer coating will be coming as cell wall, inner one will be coming as plasma membrane. So right now it is a very rough sketch I have drawn for you. Okay, this is a rough sketch I have drawn for you. Now beta, we are going to understand in much details. Now I think you have seen how a cell wall looks like. This is a plant cell wall. Again beta, I am telling this is what? This is exactly a plant cell wall. Cell wall is not present in animal cells. Cell wall is only present in plant cell. Cell wall is not present in animal cell. Cell wall is only present in plant cell. Only present in plant cell. Only present in plant cell. Okay. So now you have understood cell wall, how cell wall looks like, beta. Now we are going to understand about cell wall. Whatever I am underlining, that much part is more than enough for you to remember. Okay. So just 2 to 3 points you have to remember about cell wall. Most important point is we know that cell wall is rigid. Rigid cell wall is there. So definitely beta, let's see what they are writing about. In plant there occurs a rigid cell wall which lies outside the plasma membrane. That means what, beta? We are going to, cell wall is only present in plant cell. Absolutely correct, beta. So now you have to understand that if this is a plant cell, beta, outside this plant cell, this is plasma membrane, plasma membrane. So outside the plasma membrane, this cell will be exactly called as, beta, cell wall. This is exactly what? This is exactly cell wall, and cell wall is very rigid, beta. It is rigid. Okay, so definitely, beta, we have understood in animal cell only plasma membrane will be there, but in plant cell, beta, outside the coating, beta, it will be cell wall and then plasma membrane. So first what will come for plant cell? First is cell wall and then plasma membrane. So plasma membrane inside, cell wall outside. Just simple thing, try and understand. Only simple part you are going to understand. First, beta, what? Inside will be what? Inside will be plasma membrane, outside will be what? Cell wall. And cell wall is what, beta? Rigid. Okay, so these two things we have understood. Whatever I am underlining, I want you to just remember this one. Now you have to understand, like your house is having a wall. Yes or no? So exactly it is providing structure to your house. Yes or no? Can you imagine a house without walls? Can you imagine a house without walls? Can you imagine a house without walls? Just tell me. A house without walls. If someone will be telling you, I'm having a house and I don't have walls in my house, then definitely think about the house. Just good morning, Lokesh. Good morning, Krisha. Good morning, Shrutika. Think about it. Think about it. A house without a wall. And I know you might be thinking about a glass house, then igloos and different type of house, boats, but definitely, beta, if your house is having wall and wall will be semi-permeable, you can look through that house, and definitely privacy will be the first thing that will be killed. Fine. It will be a tree house, but beta, in tree house also, if you are going to make the house, you are going to use the woods to make the walls. Then only you can stay inside, na? You have to think like that. Think like that, Darshini. Think like that, beta. Think like that, Darshini. So here also cell wall is there. Darshini is thinking. Today Darshini will think, and night she is going to send me the message. Definitely. Night Darshini is going to send me the message that, auntie, I understood. Darshini, you eat a chocolate, you will understand. Now listen, beta, that means what we have understood, a very important point here is the cell wall is exactly rigid. It is providing a type of protection to the cell, and it is only present in plant. It is only present in plant. Then more misconceptions will be there. Here many misconceptions are there. Auntie, tent whose house without wall. So you think about plant cell, animal cell like tent house. Okay, plant cell means having cell wall, beta. Just for your understanding, for your imagination, beta, when you touch your skin, is your skin very hard? Is your skin very hard? When you touch your skin, are you feeling your skin is very hard? Can you touch your skin and feel it? Can you touch your skin and feel it? Tell me. Is your skin very hard? Tell me. Is your skin very hard? When you are touching your cheeks, when you are touching your hand, is it very hard? Okay, but when you touch this surface, is it hard? Yes or no? And you touch the stem of the plant stem, plant leaf. Can you try to, what you call? One student of mine went to dream world right now. I have to let her come back. Ekta, bring her back. Shrutika, bring her back. She went to dreamland, beta. Bring her back. Bring her back immediately, otherwise she will definitely create problem for herself. Now beta, look back. Now magical house without walls. Fine. Your house will be magical without walls. It will be totally imaginary house, beta. Fine. Very good. So now beta, we are going to go towards cell wall. We've understood that a rigid tough support is provided to a cell. Which type of cell? Plant cell. And this is exactly cell wall. Cell wall outside, plasma membrane inside, and then organelles inside this. Okay. So this is exactly will be coming for the cell wall, beta. Fine, Darshini, chocolate. Now the house is destroyed. Okay. Now look here, beta. Now understand this part, beta. So which part you are going to write in the book, in the notebook? So cell wall is a non-living and freely permeable and is secreted by cell itself for the protection of plasma membrane and cytoplasm. This is a very important point. I want this point in your note, and this point should be here also. This is a very important point, you must remember. For that only, beta, I showed you the structure of cell wall. So you have to understand that. Okay, now beta, understand this part. Now children, just focus for some minutes here. Now everyone return back. Don't see in the chat box, just see to me and just learn about this point, beta. The cell wall is rigid, we know that, but beta, most important thing is cell wall is non-living. It is not the living part of the cell, it is the non-living part of the cell. What is the cell wall? Type fast. What is the cell wall, beta? Is the cell wall living part of the cell or the non-living part of the cell? The cell wall is the living part of the cell or the non-living part of the cell? Quickly tell me. Living or non-living? You have to send me now, because I want to let you return back to class. So tell me, beta, fast, super fast. Tell me the answer. Super fast, give me the answer. The cell wall, non-living part of cell. Very good, non-living part of cell. Merunisa, it is not live, it is non-living part of cell. Very good, Merunisa. Non-living part of cell. Ashwin, non-living part of cell. Shrutika, non-living part of cell. Everyone quickly type. It is living part of cell or non-living part of cell? I have to drag you towards class, otherwise I'll talk about chocolate only. It is exactly, Kanishka, non-living part of cell or living part of cell? Cell wall. Cell wall is exactly non-living part of cell. Cell wall is what, beta? Non-living part of cell. It is non-living part of cell. Cell wall is non-living part of cell. It is not living, beta. It is non-living part of cell. It is non-living. It is not living. Living means it do not have life. Cell wall is not having life, and cell wall is not what you call, it is something which is restricting the cell entry or exit. Cell wall is not doing that, beta. It is, first thing is that I want you to remember that cell wall is non-living part of cell. Okay, and it is freely permeable. Next thing is that it do not restrict anything. Means you think that like plasma membrane is selectively permeable membrane. It do not allow everything to go inside the cell. Plasma membrane do not allow everything. Lokesh. Now listen, beta, it do not allow everything. See, plasma membrane are also called as, beta, selectively permeable membrane. Plasma membrane is what? Selectively permeable membrane. Plasma membrane do not allow everything to go inside it. But beta, this cell wall is a freely permeable. Freely permeable means you want to go inside, and want to go out. So it is not restricting anything, beta. It is not restricting anything. That's why it is called as, it is got the name as freely permeable and is secreted by the cell itself. Now, who is making this cell wall? Who is making this cell wall? Who is making this cell wall? Can you tell me who has made this cell wall? Who has made this cell wall? Outside part of the cell or the cell itself? Who has made the cell wall? Who can give the answer first? Who has made the cell wall? Very good, Keshav. Cell wall is exactly made by cell itself. So cell itself is secreting something, and because of that, cell wall is made around the cell. Okay, so that means what, beta, till now whatever we have learned about cell wall, now let's recall. Cell wall is exactly the outer coating of a plant cell. Second, it is exactly non-living. Third, it is exactly freely permeable. It is freely permeable. It is freely permeable. And then next important point is it is secreted by the cell itself. It is secreted by and is secreted by the cell itself for the protection of its plasma membrane and cytoplasm. That means the cell wants to protect itself, beta. The cell wants to protect itself. Since the cell wants to protect itself, beta, that's why it is secreting such chemicals which is exactly making the cell wall. So cell wall is freely permeable, rigid, non-living, secreted by the cell itself. And why the cell is exactly secreting it? For the protection of the cytoplasm. Means for the protection of the cytoplasm and the plasma membrane. So outside plasma membrane, we will be seeing this cell wall, and this cell wall will be protecting the plasma membrane, and along with plasma membrane, it will be protecting the cytoplasm. It will be protecting the cytoplasm. It will be protecting the cytoplasm. I hope my children might have understood this point. Understood, children? Tell me fast. Understood, beta? Understood this part? Tell me. Understood or not? Understood this section? Till now, whatever point we have exactly discussed, understood or not, beta? Very good, super. So we have understood 3-4 very important points. Beta, when they will be asking about cell wall now, you just give these points. When they will ask, when they will be asking, it's rigid, non-living, it is secreted by the cell itself, it is freely permeable. 4 important points about cell wall. Now beta, shapes, it determines the shape of a plant cell and prevent desiccation of cell. Desiccation of cell means what here, beta? So definitely, beta, it is the outside coating. So you have to understand how your house will look. Totally depends upon what type of wall you are constructing, where you are constructing the walls. Accordingly, your outer structure of the house will come. In the same way, beta, the plant cell shape will be determined the cell wall. It will be determined by the cell wall, and this is what they are telling. It determines the shape of the plant cell. So cell wall determines the shape of the plant cell. Cell wall is determining what, beta? Shape of the plant cell. Cell wall is determining what? Shape of the plant cell. Ashish, are you there in the group? Nikita, are you there in the group? It is determining the shape of the plant cell, beta. That means the cell wall is determining the shape of the plant cell. Cell wall is determining the shape of the plant cell. Shape. The shape, how this plant cell will be looking like, it will be determined by the cell wall only, beta. It will be determined by the cell wall only, and it prevents desiccation of cells. Desiccation of cells means, beta, what does desiccation of cells means here? Yes, beta, all type of plants are having plant cells. Cell wall is there. For plant cells, beta, cell wall will be there. You have to understand that those organisms which do not have plant cell wall, they will be unlikely like plant. Okay, because they will have to come under animal section. So if you have cell wall, means if your plant is having cell wall, that means it is a plant. So if it is not having, then send it to animal section. So like this category switch is there. Okay, like this category switch is there, beta. I hope you might have understood this part, beta. Understood or not? Tell me, my children, understood this section? Yes or no? Yes or no, you have understood or not, beta? Tell me fast. Because, beta, one by one now we will be talking about the most important part. Clear, ma'am? Fine, thank you so much, Vishal. Ashwin, God bless you. Shrutika, understood. What is, yes, beta? Desiccation means what, beta? You have to understand one thing. Plant is needing water. Water, because you know water is the basic need of the plant. Okay, now you have to understand one thing, beta. More or less the cells of the plant will be very much acquainted with water. So if cell wall will not be there, then the cell will become turgid, it will swell up, beta. So cell wall also want the plant cell to be exactly in shape. So it do not allow it to rupture its shell. So it will keep the plant cells in shape. That is what, beta. It is not only, ma'am, cell wall is there only in a plant cell. Can live. Yes, beta, the thing here is you have to understand, this is what I talked about, beta. That means cell wall is exactly, cell wall is present in plant cell. And that is what, beta, you are differentiating a plant cell from an animal cell. You are differentiating a plant cell from an animal cell by this condition only, that cell wall will be present in plant cell and animal do not have cell wall. Animal do not have cell wall. This is the first differentiation. Okay, and Shrutika, desiccation here means understood now, beta. That means here it prevents desiccation. The shape of the cell will be there and it will not allow it to go out of shape. It will not allow the plant cell to go out of shape. Okay, so the shape will not be distorted here beta, because of the cell wall. Cell wall will bind the plasma and it do not allow the extra, means whatever is there, how much is the limit, that much water will be going inside. It will not allow the cell to become turgid to a very high level. I hope you might have understood beta. So this is exactly what they're telling. It do not allow it to get desiccated. It is made up of a fibrous polysaccharide called as cellulose. Definitely beta, cell wall is made up of cellulose. Cellulose is a type of carbohydrate, complex carbohydrate. So you have to understand, just remember this one. If someone will ask you what cell wall is made up of, then don't write about fibrous polysaccharide. Polysaccharide means higher classes you write about. It is a fibrous, complex fibrous fiber containing polysaccharide, that is carbohydrate. Beta, carbohydrate is having many different types beta. Starch is there, glucose is there, maltose is there, galactose is there, cellulose is there. So different type of carbohydrate is there. Okay, so now cellulose is one of a type of carbohydrate beta, and this cellulose is exactly helping for the formation of cell wall. So cell wall is made with a special type of carbohydrate which is having more fibers, and this is exactly called as, cell wall is made up of a special type of carbohydrate. It is called as cellulose. What it is called as? Cellulose. What it will be called as? Cellulose. Diksha कहाँ थी आज सुबह से? I was searching you बेटा. Diksha. Since morning beta, physics class, maths class, you missed both of that. Today you have to finish both the things Diksha. Maths work and physics work beta, okay? Because in maths I started new chapter. So here beta, you have to remember a very important point. Here you have to remember a very important point, that beta, cell wall is made up of a special type of content, that is exactly a type of carbohydrate. And what name it has got beta? Cellulose. Cellulose. So just remember this part, that cell wall is made with what? Cellulose. Cell wall is made with what beta? Cellulose. Cell wall is made with what? Cellulose. Always remember like that. ओहो, बैटरी डिस्चार्ज, नो प्रॉब्लम, कल से चार्ज पे करके रखना. सेल वॉल इज मेड अप ऑफ सेलुलोज बेटा. सेल वॉल इज मेड अप ऑफ सेलुलोज. सो नाउ पिक पॉइंट्स. Can you tell me the key points of today's cell wall chapter? You will be saying, yes auntie, I know. Rigid, non-living, freely permeable. What and all the point we have discussed about cell wall? Rigid, first thing. Second, non-living. Third is freely permeable. Fourth is secreted by the cell itself. Fifth is giving shape to the cell. And then sixth is what? Right now I have discussed. It is made with cellulose. It is made with a complex type of polysaccharide. So here polysaccharide means fiber, fibrous polysaccharide means it's a type of carbohydrate. So cellulose, it's a type of carbohydrate. So these many pick points are there. Yes beta, very good, God bless you beta. So it's a special type of cellulose. It's what beta? Special type of cellulose. Special type of cellulose are making the cell wall. Okay, now next point is that the plant cell wall does consist of tiny cellulose fibers called microfibrils, and these microfibrils are glued together by mixture of polysaccharide. Okay, each microfibril is made up of thousands of cellulose molecule, and it is exactly bound together. So if I will say like this, you will not understand, because you are just a small child. How can you understand by thinking about it? By thinking about it, you cannot be able to understand. Now let's see beta. Let's see the cell wall structure. So now we have understood one very important point. Now I think now you will understand. After seeing this one, now you will understand that beta, the outer layer is exactly called as middle lamella. Now plant cell outer layer is exactly called as middle lamella. So outer layer of cell wall is called as middle lamella. Okay, and it is, and next one beta, you see here, these are fibers. So all these are fibers, and you see beta, this is exactly cellulose microfibril. We talked about na cellulose microfibrils. These cellulose microfibrils are glued together, means stick together, and they are exactly sticked together. So cellulose, just remember beta, you see here, cellulose microfibrils are exactly forming cell wall. In simple way, just remember beta, cell wall is made up of cellulose. Cell wall is made up of cellulose. What is cellulose? Cellulose is a special type of carbohydrate. Cell wall is made up of cellulose. Don't go to this much complex. For your understanding, I have exactly taken this picture, but you just understand one very important part beta, that is cell wall is made up of cellulose. Cell wall is made up of cellulose. And what is cellulose? Cellulose are a special type of carbohydrate. Okay, cell wall is exactly made up of cellulose, and cellulose are made up of special type of carbohydrate. It is a special type of cell wall is made up of cellulose. Absolutely correct, beta. So just you, if how many times you will type and write now, it will come inside your brain. Now beta, here this is the outer middle lamella is the outer layer, and this one beta, this is exactly what this is middle lamella, the outer layer of the leaf or the plant, and this part is beta cellulose. This is exactly cellulose, and these cellulose are special type of carbohydrate. And then beta, this is plasma membrane. This is the plasma membrane. This is the selectively permeable membrane, which is exactly called as plasma membrane. Selectively permeable membrane, and that is exactly called as what beta? Plasma membrane. So what till now we have understood that the cell wall, middle lamella, outer layer, and then cell wall, and inside the cell wall is plasma membrane. And cell wall is made up of what beta? This cell wall is made up of cellulose. Cell wall is made up of cellulose, and cellulose is beta rigid, non-living, freely permeable, secreted by cell, prevent desiccation, made up of cellulose. Bang on, Shruti, bang on. This is the only point I want you to remember. The core point of the cell wall you have to remember. It is present in plant. Everything what you have kept in the correct position only. Very good. I want everyone to type this. Everyone quickly just type this one. Now beta, it is exactly pectins. You might be seeing here pectins. This is exactly, see, you would see the connecting fibers beta. These connecting fibers are exactly called as pectins. Now you see here, what is pectins? Pectins is a water soluble fiber and used in various food as emulsifiers. So okay, so it is water soluble fibers, and it is exactly connecting the cellulose. Okay, everyone type this. Everyone type this. What you have learned till now, type it fast. Learn till now, type it fast beta. Learn till now, type it fast. So we have understood about cellulose. We have exactly understood about cell wall. What and all cellulose, cell wall key point we have understood. Cell wall key point we have understood. Living, rigid, non-living, freely permeable, secreted by cell, prevent desiccation, and made up of cellulose. Best part. Now beta, function. We will be seeing the function of cell wall beta. What is the function of cell wall? Cell wall of a plant protect the following, do the following, perform the following function. Now let's see the function of cell wall. Only this three function is more than enough for you beta. More than enough for you, this three function. First is it permit the plant cell to become turgid. Yes, because beta it is freely permeable, so it is not allowing anything to stop. It is telling okay, you want to come in, you want to go out. So it is allowing the cell to receive water. The most important thing is it is not restricting everything, so it is allowing the cell wall to receive everything beta. So that is what it permits the plant cell to become turgid. Okay, that means the plant cell will get swelled up, but to a limit. Okay, and then as water enters the vacuoles through osmosis, the plant cell expands. The cell wall has to be strong enough to resist the expansion, so enable the cell to become turgid. So what it is doing? So this is the cell beta, and you know this is the vacuole. The vacuole is that house where it is storing water and food. So this is the food vacuole of the cell. Okay, this is what beta, this is the food vacuole of the cell. It is the food vacuole of the cell. It is what? The food vacuole of the cell. Now the cell wall will allow water to go inside. So what it will do, once water will go inside, the food vacuole will receive the water and the cell will swell. Okay, so it is exactly making the cell turgid. But what the cell wall is doing, it will say that hey, I will allow you to be turgid to a limit, and then it will not allow it to expand. So definitely it will miss, if I will become turgid, I will become turgid to a certain level. After that, cell wall will not allow me to become turgid. And this is what the most important part of the cell wall. It performs the following function. It allows water to go inside. It allows the cell to become turgid, but to a limit. After that, it will not allow. Okay, food vacuole beta, it is the storage out. Food vacuole, that's why beta you have to understand by the word food vacuole means here water, nutrients and some content are exactly stored. Food vacuoles. So plant are having big food vacuole, plant cells are having big food vacuoles, animal cells are having small food vacuoles. Okay, now here second important point, it provides mechanical strength and support to the cell. Definitely beta, it is rigid, so that means it will provide mechanical strength I told you now, walls of the house is what? Walls of the house is just like giving strength to your room. Then only you will be protected. In the same way, beta, it is providing mechanical support. Cellulose fibrils are very strong. The strength may be further increased by addition of lignin in tissues. Now, beta, what is lignin? Lignin is a type of chemical, beta. It gives strength. You have seen coconut husk now, beta. It is made with lignins. So these lignins are very tough content, tough cement like something which will make the things very, very tough. So beta, the cell wall, if lignins are present, the cell wall become more tough and more rigid. Okay, if lignins will not be there, then it will be soft. But if lignin is there, that means, like, understand that a house made of mud and a house made of cement house will be more strong, because cement will be joining and making it very strong. But mud house will be quite, what beta, turgid means what beta, phool jana. Turgid means swelling. So when cell will receive water, it will swell. But outer coating is cell wall. So this outer coating will not allow plant to become swell further. Okay, plant cell to become further swell. It will stop its swelling. It will stop its swelling. I hope you might have understood, beta. Understood? Animal has small vacuoles. Absolutely correct. Now beta, I am having last 1 minute with you. It is freely permeable to water and substance in solution. Correct only, beta. Means it allows things, ions, waters, everything to go inside and go out. But beta, it only when it will be crossing its limit, it is going to stop its extension. And this is what the cell wall. And beta, cell wall, some plant is having a rigid tough cell wall, some are having, so it is totally dependent upon addition of lignin. So if lignin will be added, then the cell wall will be more tougher. If lignin will be added, then by addition of lignin for the xylem vessels work I am going to explain, beta. Everyone understood? Very good. So that is what, beta. So most important things today we have understood about cell wall. This much information is more than enough. And that, beta, difference between cell wall and plasma membrane, tomorrow we are going to do. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you might have liked today's class, what we have studied about cell wall. So just, beta, just key points are very important. That key point you might have, beta, just remember the key points. Kanishka is there in the group. Just remember the key points, beta. These key points will be, Ashish, समझ में आया beta? Understood, Ashish? This key points, beta, only key point, and play with these key points. Rigid, non-living, freely permeable, then secreted by the cell, made up of cellulose, very rigid. If lignins will be added, it will become much tough. Okay, so like this, beta. Tomorrow 9 o'clock. Tomorrow again morning 9 o'clock. Everyone I am informing. Tomorrow again, beta, 9 o'clock. Okay. God bless you all. No, I don't have time, beta. I am having school classes. Okay. Bye, beta.